Welcome to the World Championship Air Race Podcast, giving you the behind-the-scenes look into the World Championship Air Race. My name is Alex MacPhail, and I'll be chatting to guests from the air racing community all around the world. Make sure to subscribe on your podcast platform to keep up to date with our latest releases. Now fasten your seatbelts, prepare for takeoff, and let's get airborne. Well, g'day to you and welcome to another episode of the World Championship Air Race Podcast. My name is Alex MacPhail, host of the Airborne show, and today my very distinguished guest, Melanie Astles, is joining me. Melanie, welcome. Sorry for all the delay. I hope you are doing well today.
Well, thank you, Alex, and I'm really happy to be here. And you owe me champagne now, so it's cool. We won't say why, but...
Well, it's official now.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about this, and it's now going to be published. Yeah. The world to see that. Did you get your champagne or not?
Exactly.
I'll be good on my honor my commitment with you on that one. Melanie, it's very exciting news that you are now racing officially next year in the AeroGP1 category. Tell me your thoughts and feelings. It's just recently been announced up to the Premier League. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's, as you say, it's amazing. I just can't find words to say how happy I am, and what I've been really focusing on that, and now the victory will be to be there in the AeroGP1 class, and yeah, for sure, I'm really excited, and I'm looking forward to race. Though it's a big challenge because I have to build the whole team, and but I like it. I like challenges, and no doubt it will be amazing, and yeah, really looking forward for the next steps now.
Okay, well, we can dive into a lot of different things there, but as we were discussing off air earlier, the determination path was the path that you chose. So going back a little bit to sort of formative years where you were excited about flying and this bug bit you going to an air show and being exposed to it, you said to me just now, you know, if you were to do it all over again, you would do it the same way. So just take us back to just a bit of an intro to what is that same way, and how easy or hard was your path to get yourself the license and get flying?
Yeah. Basically, when I was young, the people around me would say that, like, forget flying, it's only for rich people, for boys, for intelligent people, and, like, it's not for you. And of course, at this moment in my life, I was listening to adults, and now it's not the same exactly. And so really disappointed. I tried everything at school. I tried economics, I tried literature, I tried managing hotels, and I tried everything that exists, and I just couldn't understand this world where dreams weren't possible. And so very sad, I quit school at age of 18, and I started working in petrol stations, and this was my job, and I did that for 7 years, and during these 7 years, I managed to link with aviation at 21 years old. Of course, all my path is, it's thanks to a lot of great people that have been there at the good moment, and who have given me the confidence that it was possible for me. And then it's just a matter of determination, hard work, and when dedication meets luck, then you get there, and that's it. Here I am, and I feel really lucky, but I feel I've worked for it, and it's been a long path, but now I'm really keen on appreciating the path, and even the hard moments are kind of cool on this path. And I think people often are good, bad, nice, bad, and finally, when you realize that bad brings you to good, or the opposite, there's really a balance in life. And as I say, sometimes if my life would have been easy from the beginning, I would have been in a rich family with people supporting me, and I'm not sure it would have been better now, you know? So you will never know.
Yeah, that's true. You will never know. But you mentioned some key things that I want to just hone in on. Some of those numbers are actually quite nice numbers. I'm not really a numbers person, but certainly the numbers 18, 21, and 7 are really profound numbers in most people's lives. 18, you become an adult, or certainly in my part of the world. 21, you really become an adult. And 7 years at something is a long time, and it's not like you've dabbled in it, and it's not like you've put your whole career in it, but it's a significant amount of time. So how did you get into that first you got into the petrol station business. I mean, again, not glamorous, but hard work and determination. You could save some money. How did you get going in that first flying lesson? You just saved up the money, went to your local club and paid for a lesson?
Yeah, basically, I was working in in these petrol stations. I was working. I was replacing managers that would leave or that would be fired, and I was just like working for 1 month, for 3 months, or 6 months, and I was moving all around France. And it was snowing this day, and I thought, oh, let's go and see the airport. Snowing, of course, this is the moment where you go and see the airport. Anyway, that's where all the doors were closed, and basically there's only one door open. I found this guy, Jacques, and he was really so passionate. And yeah, basically, he just, all my limiting thoughts, he just destroyed them in one afternoon. And yeah, it was just a matter of someone making it appear in my mind like it was possible. And he was a good commercial, because the day after I was enrolled and I started my first flight. To be honest, I was a bit worried I wouldn't like it, because when you've been dreaming of something for 21 years, and I was like, imagine you don't like it. And in fact, of course, it was the opposite. And now, 17 years later, it's even stronger than before. So we're good.
That's good. Well, okay, so you mentioned their limiting thoughts, and it's nice to meet these people along your way. And it's not something that you see all the time, but certainly at key moments in your life, people come along and they give you these, we call it, they gave you permission. So you had these limiting thoughts of yourself and thought, well, maybe I'm not going to be good enough. Maybe this was never supposed to be for me. And these ideas that you're talking yourself out of it before you even begin. But somebody like that would come along and say, no, that's not the case, Melanie. Give it a go. You can do it. And there's no reason you can't. It's as if they gave you the permission to say, I'm allowed to think positively. I'm allowed to give this a go. And certainly that seems like a key person along the way in your journey so far.
Yeah, and also limiting thoughts. It's I think many people are infected by this virus of limiting thoughts. It's like we are programmed in our minds that we can't do this or that, or we're not allowed to do this or that. And I'm here to, at my turn, break these limiting thoughts and show people that whatever is your dream. I'm not saying you can get to the end of all your dreams, but at least you can get on the way to the dreams. And finally, happiness is when you're on the way to your dream. And if you can manage to enjoy the path, or when you want to, I don't know, you want to run a marathon, you can enjoy just the day you are suffering on your treadmill, or you are running and it's not so easy. But this is why you will appreciate the day when you will achieve your goal. Because if it would have been like easy, you wouldn't have appreciated as much. So this is the same, I think, in anything in life, and it often is when it's too easy, you just don't, you don't appreciate it.
Yeah, that's true. But now also, you mentioned a point about you had this dream for a long time, and now you get stuck into this, and there's this fear that, is it really going to be what I've expected it to be? Maybe I built it up too much in your head. I can remember back to pilot training, and somewhere around the 80 or 100-hour mark where I was training in the Air Force, I can remember thinking as well, you also built this up. This is great, and this is everything that I wanted to. But there was a time where I thought, all I'm doing is scans. I'm looking on the horizon, point, attitude, altitude, bank, balance, speed. There's just a series of repetitions of scans, and it didn't quite all make sense to me at the time. Obviously, I knew what I was doing to pass through the checkpoints along the way, but it was not. There was a sense where this wasn't enjoyable. This was a discipline rather than something that I'm having fun doing. But did you have any of that experience along the way where you got stuck in, and you know that you want to do it, but then you wondered at some point, is this really what I wanted?
I think this happened to me when I entered Air France. And it was quite recent. It was in 2017. And I mean, it's been an amazing experience. And if I'd have to live it again, I'd live it again, the same thing. And I was a professional pilot in 2008, so it was 10 years before. And I'd been doing so many amazing things, and often working for free, but towing gliders, in flight instruction, of course, aerobatics, flying the air race. And suddenly I was in a closed cockpit with the door closed, and I wasn't meeting anybody, and I was just scanning and writing papers. It was short flights of often 40 minutes, and I felt like I was doing papers all day and scanning and this, that, and as soon as the plane was up in the sky and you were cruising, and then, okay, we chat with the captain. But I think, yeah, I had this feeling when, oh, is this really what I want to do? And you have to be honest with yourself. And of course, it was an amazing job, and I could have stayed there, but I couldn't have pursued my dream of. I had my planes, my aerobatic planes, and I just couldn't finance them without my sponsors. So of course, I was too busy with the airline job. It was at the moment where there was planes were flying, like they were flying a lot, and I was busy and flying a lot of hours. So yeah, basically did the choice of going back to more simple flying. I don't know how you say it, not simple, but just
Let,
flying like the feeling and less
the raw
instruments
flying,
and
raw.
yeah, raw flying. And yeah, this is what I like. So now because I've done things I like less, I know exactly what I like today. And yeah, it was an amazing experience also. And the airlines have been great with me, and we just didn't manage to, and it wasn't safe doing both things at the same time. And yeah, because I'm kind of
Sure.
busy in my entrepreneur job, so basically it's hard to do both and be serious.
It, yeah, it is, and it is quite different. Flying and the demands of an airline pilot are such that they're trying to maximize your time available to them, which is that in competition with your off time for you. So if you have a rest day, then the idea is that you don't fly and you have a rest day. But for you, the rest day is the day where you want to go and do some aerobatics. It doesn't work very well. So okay, that was a nice journey, and you've had the experience. Recently I've stopped flying airliners myself and got back into small aircraft, and raw flying and aerobatics is wonderful too. Having not done it for 12 years, it's great to get back out there again. So I know the feeling that you're talking about. Just the seat of the pants and doing loops and moving around the sky in a different way to what an Airbus can do. It's a wonderful feeling. Melanie, I want to then move to the point where you okay, so you've got your journey on the way, but now how is it that you find yourself down the path of aerobatics? Again, it's not a very although it's exciting to watch and it's exciting to know about, but not a lot of percentage of people end up going down the competition aerobatics route. How did that journey unfold for you?
So basically, my initial dream when I was a little girl was to become a fighter pilot, and this was the only thing I could imagine my life in was flying a fighter plane, and being a fighter pilot. And why? Because I loved adrenaline. I loved I don't know, even the feeling of being in the army and all of this was really something I wanted to do. And these beautiful aircrafts, just I don't know the looking of it and the speed and it's like something you can't do anywhere else on earth. And I thought this is really what I want to do. So basically, to go back to aerobatics, it's the thing that's the closest to being a fighter pilot. The only thing is that you don't go to war. The only war you can do is competition, and this war is against yourself basically. So I love competition. I've always loved since competing since I'm a little girl. I've always loved being challenged, competing. It's something that like pushes me, yeah, to give my best, and I've got it inside of me. And so flying competition has been, I don't know, it's been so natural because I started flying aerobatics at 25, and it was going on well because I'd been flying 2,000 hours of aerobatic before in my mind. And I was feeling comfortable. I did my first competition. I had like 10 hours of training, and it did go on quite well. And yeah, basically, I had a good feeling, and I loved it, and I still do. And flying aerobatics in a limited level is it's crazy. I mean, there's such a level at the moment with especially I'm lucky to fly in France and to have the French team, which is basically the guys are all in the top 10, the 8 guys. So just ending in the
Okay.
top six, ending in sixth position in 2020, and yeah, I could see I was ahead of some world champions, and it's cool. It was a nice achievement for me. I don't know if I'll be able to go further than that. I think technically I've reached a level. I can still improve it, but it's been cool just to see. I was like fighting with the some of the best guys in the world. Unfortunately, I had a bad experience on the World Championships in 2019 because I got disqualified on a flight it's a quite long story, but I made a mess with my radio. I pressed on the button and switched frequency. And of course, I was in my tunnel performance zone, and I just started flying without saying hi, hello, good morning. And it's not very polite when you try and sell something to someone and you don't say hello. They don't like it. They don't buy your product, So yeah, basically, it's I really like to have a world championship one day to be able to forget 2019, but it seems like it's not happening, and I don't know, maybe in 2022 be able to go and end my job. Let's see.
Okay, so now as it unfolds, now we're going to get into more specific air racing and Team 33 air racing next season as well. But as it progresses, are you able to continue the high level of unlimited aerobatics competition while being an air race pilot? Will that go side by side?
Yeah, so basically the World Championship Air Race will be sanctioned by the FAI, and I think there is an agreement that there will be no conflict between World Aerobatics Championships and the World Championship Air Race events. So the good thing is I've been working so hard to reach this technical level. I actually haven't been training a lot this last year, well, since September. But I'm convinced that when you've had the level once, I mean, there's not a new person that will fly the plane, it's me. And I'm convinced that with another training or two and a lot of work on the ground, I can reach this level, at least the same level again. And who knows, maybe even better, because sometimes when you have a rest, you can, I don't know, something happens in your brain and you find new ways of doing things. But yeah, I'd like to continue. Of course, if it's not possible, it's like Air France and flying aerobatics. I had to choose. Then it will be time to choose, and but I think it will be fine. And I think all I need is to be free for to go to the championships. The main issue I've been having is with French team selections, because they request to be available at all the training camps. So you have 5 weeks of training camps, and at one point I had to choose between my sponsors and the French team training camps. And unfortunately, I'm not rich, so I need my sponsors to pay for my my aircraft and my flying and my training, and of course myself. So yeah, basically I chose to fly, and really thanks to the British team, because they've accepted me in their family, and so I can fly in the aerobatics with the help of the British Aerobatics Association, and it's easier for me because I can just compete, and they don't. I try and go to training camps when I can, but I go to the championships, and yeah, but basically it's easier for my business side, and it just makes it possible to continue the aerobatics. If not, it's not possible.
So do you compete for the British team and the French team, or have you now moved over to the British team? Is that
So
what you're
it's I flew in 2019 under the colors of the British team, and I don't know, 22 we are discussing, because I'd like to fly with the French flag the races, and basically the British association, they are really a great support for me, and they don't want me to be stuck at the door of the competition and not be able to go just for a country reason. So they are doing everything possible, and hopefully the French Federation will help in this project, because I'm sure they'll be proud of having me flying for the racing, and we are just finding the best way to make things possible. And it's, for me, it's important to fly for the French flag in the racing, because of course I'm French also, and it's a great project for me and for my sponsors, and it's anyway, we'll find a solution, win-win solutions.
Okay, so obviously you know, one of your parents being British, you're born in the UK as well, so that's great that you have that backdoor opportunity to have the two different teams, and you know, long may it last that you can have support on both sides of the English Channel. That's wonderful. Melanie, let's talk a little bit about the Red Bull Air Race, and you've worked your way up into aerobatics, and you've become the French national champion at some point. How do you go about becoming an air race pilot with Red Bull? And this was, a good 6-7 years ago now. How long ago? When did it was 2016 you started in the Red Bull race?
First season in 2016. I think it started again in 2014, and I was drinking the coffee in 2014 and saying, this is for me. I will get in this event. It's my dream. And since 2003, I've been watching it, and I kind of started to understand that why not me? And then I started contacting them and how can I get in there? I'm really motivated, and then I did some training camps with Aerobatics, thanks to Red Bull. And yeah, this is basically I went to the selection in 2015, and then the great news and the beginning of new life. And it was amazing because when I entered, I wasn't like in the mood. First woman pilot and this that, but suddenly I realized how important it was and how I could be a model and inspire and push other women to start flying aerobatics and racing and yeah, and it's been, I don't know if I'm in the effect of it, but in France there's so many women flying aerobatics now, and it's really nice to see. There's another one, we are 4 at unlimited level, and there's like 10 or 12 now flying in advanced and unlimited, which is huge, and I don't know if it's ever happened that there are so many. So it's cool, and yeah, there's a move going on, and yeah, I think I realize how important it is now, and not just in flying, just in everyday's life. When I give a speech, when there are very few women there, they are like, "Wow, this is cool! You really give us wings," and it's yeah, you can feel there's that it inspires. I'm talking about women, but not only women. It's also people who think it's not possible or who have a dream, and they say, "Yeah, but for you it's easy." This that, and I say, "No, no, no, no. Listen to my step to be there." And then, okay, and then they feel a bit like, "Oh, maybe I'm limiting myself, and I could do better than that." So it's cool.
So I'm glad. I gather then there must be a big chapter in your talks about limiting beliefs and how to squash them.
Yeah. Well, even
great.
myself, I need to fight against them all the time because it's not like you don't get rid of them very easy, and they can come back also.
Yes. Sure. Okay, well, if let's just hover there for a moment. So this idea of you weren't quite receptive to this in the beginning, first woman, those are some of those titles and brandings and associations that people tend to shy away from. In one respect, it's cool, but actually you still want to be an individual and you still want to be on merit and all those things that go with it. What was the point that you decided, okay, this is actually a good thing? Did you interact with someone in the crowd somewhere? Did a long lost friend reach out and say, hey, it's because of you I'm doing X, or what made you change your mind on that?
Yeah, it's messages. People I've met and messages I've received. I have really, I feel so grateful of. I mean, I have really great fans, and the messages I receive are so nice, and sometimes I feel ashamed because I can't answer to everybody, and it's receiving messages and live messages or text messages like, "You've inspired me, my life has changed," or "I saw you flying, and this was amazing," and this is and I think really I have the chance to have great support from my fans, and yeah, just when you understand that you can make a move to people, yeah, it makes you feel like you have a mission, and it wouldn't be even fair if you just would hide and not share with the people, So I think, I don't know, the main thing in France is often when you have success, sometimes people, they feel quite frustrated, but the only thing you'd have to do is go and see the people and ask, how did you manage to have this success? And I think nearly anybody who's had success is really happy to share his way to success. And I think if I can say a message, it's if you want to become like someone or do something that someone's doing very well, just go and see this person and just ask him or her, how did you get to the path you are in, or how did you reach this success? And I don't know many people who'd say just, "Oh, get out of my way, I don't have time," or if they don't have time,
Sure.
they'll say, "I'll answer you later." But I've never had anyone say, "You are disturbing me by asking me this question," honestly. And this is how I do. when I see someone I admire, I just go and see him or her and I say, hey, this is amazing what you're doing, and could you give me just a tip that would help me reach your level? And everybody answers, sure.
Yeah, it's great. You just reach out, and people don't tend to bite your head off. People are, if if you're in admiration of somebody, and there's a sense that you maybe want to emulate them or get some tips, then most often people are willing to share. So the two points come out of that, and that when you look at successful people and people that have achieved a lot in life, often standing from a distance, you look at it and think, well, that was an overnight success. But, sometimes an overnight success takes about 15 years to get there. But also if you look at the trajectory of the success path, you might assume it's a linear thing, but not. You get these little mini wins and then there's a drop-off, and another little mini win and then there's a drop-off. And so tell us about some of the sort of bigger setbacks in the last couple of years on your journey towards an AeroGP1 Premier League race pilot. Some of the things that people either would or wouldn't know about, but that set you back and real learning there, but set you back on the course to dig deeper in your determination path once more.
Yeah, we are all facing challenges in our lives, and basically, like when I was a little girl, I think the challenges make you stronger, make you progress, and in life you have people that help you. Your people on your side, your family, your friends, and you have people that challenge you. And these people that challenge you, they're as good as the people that help you. Sometimes people you can have in your life that are really acting badly or trying to slow you down. And in fact, these people really make you stronger also. So I think basically, my big challenges have been when I was a little girl to understand I could live my dreams. I'm quite one challenge that really made me progress is this failure at the World Championship, honestly, because it's been I was preparing this for long time, and I've been basically focusing all my life on that and investing on it, and suddenly just for a stupid mistake. And to be honest, some other people in the past did the same thing as me and started flying without saying hi. And I really thought these people, how can you be like so stupid to do that? And then when you think, I've even imagined one day these people are stupid and I've done it myself, and you really have to have a lot of humility and just say in this story, you always have to work and progress. And if I think now with the new method I'm using and what I've learned through this is that if I can imagine all the bad things in my life that would have happened if this event wouldn't have taken place, it would have been something huge. So in fact, this negative thing has brought me in exchange as much positive because I became much stronger. Now I'm mentally really strong and I can cope with a lot of situations. It was very hard, but now it's so easy and things are much smooth in my life. And yeah, I think I'll be a fierce competitor on the mental side. So
Okay,
guys,
well,
get
that's good to hear.
prepared.
Challenge accepted. That's great. So Melanie, okay, so you get involved with after your cup of coffee, thinking, dreaming it. If you can dream it, you can do it. Eventually, you do the selection process, the training camps, and you're in the Challenger Series. Tell me about that first race or first couple of races being an air race pilot. A couple of years ago, you're watching. Now you're participating. You're part of the team. How does that feel? How do you approach that?
Oh, I remember my first race. Of course, everybody remembers, I guess, his first race. I was, I don't know how I can say, because it's the first time you do that. So, and it's not
Sure.
scared. I was impressed. Like there was all my superheroes there. The pilot. I mean, now they are my heroes. I'll be racing against some of them now, and I need to go and go faster than them. But it was just, I felt like it was Christmas suddenly in the middle of the year, and I flew this first race in Spielberg in Austria, and it was so difficult because I had all this media attention, and I was the rookie, and I just wanted to focus on my flying, and get into the zone and that, and I just couldn't do it. And of course, speaking to media was kind of new for me, and so everything was new, and I was overloaded with new things. And when you start a project like that, you just want to hide, like, hey, just let me start, and I want to become better. But you have all the spotlights on you, and you're like, oh. And it was okay, and it ended up very well, and things just happened on the good way, and it was fine. But it was quite a challenge. So yeah, the first races were very emotional. And I remember I put my heart rate monitor on my first race. I think I was at maximum heart rate. And I always I watched this video recently. I'm flying through the pylons, and I start smiling like, this is so cool. It wasn't. I was really in the focus of the thing. Just you get this big smile on my head suddenly, and it was so funny. It was so funny. And this is where the smile on. I have this smile on thing, just to relax before when I start flying in the track, and hey, smoke on, number 33 Astles, smoke on. I was like, number 33 Astles, smile on. Bling. And it just relaxed me, and then after smile on, I was fine.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, those first few races, those feelings of nerves. But I mean, Melanie, you were never going to be someone that just kind of snuck in and did your race and snuck out. I mean, you're going to attract far too much attention for that, and don't expect anything different next year.
Yeah, but now I'm mentally stronger, as I say. And also, it's a. I mean, speaking to media and all of this. I was born as a very shy girl. I used to hide in the cupboards because I was scared of photographs. So it's a big effort for me. People don't realize. They think, oh, she has all the attention sometimes, but it's really hard. And I'm still shy. I mean, I'm still a really shy person. I was speaking on stage this morning, and I was like, oh, I'm confident. But I did get this shaking with the mic, and oh, what's going on? And I'm like, okay, it's normal. It's the normal pressure, you know. But I'm not someone that really is at ease speaking at medias. But I just suddenly found a way, and I just had fun doing it, and it was like a game after. And well, like there, it's like, okay, we're just having a chat between friends. You just have to relax about it, and it's much better this way.
Okay, so now that first season, obviously you put a lot of effort into to just make your mark and prove to the people that selected you that they didn't make a mistake, and obviously you're enjoying it and you want to do well and you're competitive. So at what point along the way does this media attention spill over into sort of public speaking, etc., becoming a national role model and a role model for women pilots all around the world, etc.? Was that within the first season?
Yeah, it was in the first season, and well, when I understood what was going on, I knew it was my first season, and I kind of let it go a bit, and I said, okay, probably this season I won't be able to compete fiercely, and I'll just fly through the track and be safe and do my best, and this way will be the best. The best way I could do things was this way, and I really wanted to live with my passion also, and honestly, the air race has been a great opportunity for me to find sponsors, and all the media work I've been doing has helped me for that. And today, I mean, since 2015, it's 6 years now, nearly. I've been having my company, and I have no more salary, if you want. So I'm living with my passion, and it's still going on, and this is cool. And so I think it's a win-win situation. I mean, you do your job, but you get rewards, and I have the good intention to do even better. And the main thing, we were chatting about it just before, it's finding the great team that can help you look after all the things around you, and then you just have to do your job and fly the race or speak to the media. And this is what I didn't have before, and this is what will make it easier for me, and this is where I'm feeling really grateful about the situation, and I'm really feeling I'm happy about World Championship Airways giving me the trust in this, and I think they have the same vision as me on how we can have great success, and I like the whole philosophy, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be cool and bigger than we can imagine.
Okay, well, I also certainly think the same way. There's a bigger than you can imagine, and I want to. It's a great way to lead into my next couple of questions about that. So, the big change now, you've stepped up from the Challenger class to the AeroGP1 now, the Premier League of the racing, which is wonderful. But it comes with a lot of changes now too, because now they've got the Formula One teams approach. So tell me about the process of what you need to go through. We were talking a bit off air about building your team. What is it to build a race team from scratch?
Well, it's building a race team from scratch. It's like it's it's a real life challenge for different ways. The first thing is we have a lot of uncertainty with the situation because of course there's Mr. COVID in the middle of that. So we're not sure about when exactly it will start, though I'm confident on February 22. But anyway, never mind. Let's just go forward this way. Then I need to find sponsorships. There is interest, but then you need to finalize contracts and of course I don't know about all the budgets I need because it's new for me. And
Sure.
Red Bull Air Race was one concept. Now it's a new one, and of course I need to get all this information in a very short time because I need to be ready for yesterday. So this is the main thing. And I was a pilot in the air race, but I think I know that I know nothing. So basically, I know how to sit in a plane and fly it. I know how to manage a company about. Every day I'm learning something new, but I have 6 years of experience in that. But the only thing is everything is new, and I'm going to surround myself with experts. And but for that I need the budget. But for the budget I need the experts. So I'm in the middle of something,
Yeah.
where it's hard to reach me on the phone, or at the moment I'm running everywhere. And of course I want to do the aerobatics competition at the same time because it would be too easy if not. So no, but it's cool, and I like the bigger the challenge, the best I am. So yeah, things are looking good. I'm surrounded by people helping me a lot. Also, they're not in my team, but I have a sponsor helping me a lot and supporting me in the project. And when I was doubting a bit, he was like, "No, go for it," and he will always be there even if things don't work. And it's just nice to feel surrounded and supported. And yeah, I can see, as I was saying, very big in the future. So I just need to get started. And because I'm
Mm.
so trustful in the event, and I am so convinced of like in 10 years it's going to be so huge. I really, even myself, want to invest strongly in the project.
Sure. So just to make it down to basics a little bit, have you got an aircraft?
Yeah, I've got 3 aircrafts.
Aircraft sorted. Okay.
No, I
Okay.
have three aircraft.
Really.
I have three aircraft. I have 2 extra 330SC, and I have a 2-seater extra. Now
Okay. No.
yes, I
So
know, a race aircraft you mean.
yes.
But
So have you got your race aircraft ready for next year, for February 2022, when it does start?
hopefully I won't have to race my extra 330SC. No, I'm speaking with well, I'll keep it confident for the moment, but I'm speaking with an
Sure.
ex-masterclass pilot, financing his aircraft. And I mean, I have a sponsor that can lend me the money, sorry. And but I need to find the finances by end of July. That's mainly my target
Okay.
now.
All right. So this building a race team, it's a complex thing. You need a racing machine too. I just want to understand the technicality. So, you're starting from scratch here. You've got a lot of experience in different things, including business and racing. Now you're putting it all together. Are you also going to be the team principal? Is it going to be Team Melanie Astles Racing?
Yeah, it will be, well, we'll start it this way. Though my plan is to, if you could imagine a company, I would be like the chairwoman, I don't know how you say, but anyway. And I need a CEO. Basically, this is what I've been searching for the last 4 or 5 years. It's someone that could be
Okay.
my number two, let's say, that could speak for me and look after all the business. I think I have an idea of who is the good person. For the moment, we are speaking together. So
That's
basically,
good.
the deal would be, I'd really like to be the team principal. Well, I am actually. My
Hmm.
idea is to fly some racing for 3 to 5 years. and then get a pilot in my team after 3 to 5 years, and keep the team as a business and make it run it the best way possible. And because of course, as I say, as an investor, I'm also interested in the future, and I'm ready to invest in the air race in the next 10, 15, 20 years.
That sounds wonderful. I think this new approach of being a team independent from a pilot, or a pilot independent from a team, it is wonderful. And how exciting to be part of that first year, where you're the race pilot taking part again, but you're also a team principal. You know, we call it a team principal for now. That's a very exciting prospect.
Yeah, it is, and I'm I'd say I'm really passionate about flying, and actually this week I'm with my suit and this that and giving speeches, but I'm feeling there's a training camp and I'm not there, and it's sunny, and next week I have a training camp but it's raining, so I'm like frustrated. But I like the business side also, and but I think there's a time for everything, and the big advantages I have and I've had in my path is I've always had a step forward, and I think it would be important, in the next maximum 5 years, for me to give back the flying seat to someone else. But at the moment, I need to go to the end of my dreams and really go and get this World Championship title. And of course, I need to surround myself by the best. And this is why I'm trying to get a good race plane and possibly a mentor that would help me through this process, because alone I won't be able to go and get some guys like Matt or Yoshi and all the other great guys, Martin. So if I want to get to reach their level and even get better, I need to surround myself with the best. So this is basically it's going to be the aim of the first season, and of course finding the budgets to get the best development on the plane, and I need to surround myself for sure, because all I know is how to fly a plane and how to manage a business a little bit, but that's all.
Well, that's a good couple of steps in the right direction to begin with. Now, if you visualize this and you're planning, February rolls around, how big is your team, the permanent core of Team 33? How many employees, or how big is this team that goes from race to race?
Often this is a super champion of the air race who told me that is look at the best and do better than them. Anyway, basically just take the best. And for me, no, just about the business, I would say I think Matt is a good model for me, because he's had he's done great in the business, and I admire what he's built around it. And on the business side, I think Mike Goulian also is a model about business. And if I ask these guys, they talk about 7 or 8 guys around them. So it gives me about the size of a team you need. I think the minimum is 3 people. But honestly, if I want to be positioned, I think I would need someone full-time about the commercial and marketing. And this is mainly parts where people try and save money. But I think in this type of company, I think it's a really important job. Especially if you imagine you have a lot of media attention, you need someone to look after that. I think this is important.
Sure.
And then, of course, coaching and all the technical side. I know as a pilot, I'm supposed to know a lot of things on mechanics, but yeah, I won't say I'm a girl, because it's not because of that. It's just that it's not the thing I love the most. I used to repair cars,
Sure.
and I've changed gearboxes on cars, and I've done many things. People were looking at me, I was 19, I was repairing cars in the garage, and the people were like, I've never seen that of my life. So I know how to do it when I want to do it, but I prefer just focusing on the flight and the business. So I need a good technician, and then the thing I need the most is administration. Someone looking after the emails and even the social media. And I mean, I love my fans, and I'll give the tendency but to answer to some questions, but I'd love to answer to everybody. And I think we can answer to some questions by joining the answers and doing lives. I love this new social media, which is Clubhouse. Don't know if you've heard about it.
Okay,
I think we could do amazing things on Clubhouse, and like create a room for an hour and answer to questions for an hour to the people. Just sending the idea, but I think this would be nice to have some air race pilots answering the fans in an hour discussion. And I really like this social media. I think it's very effective and friendly. And you don't have to comb your hair and look good. You can just speak in your bathroom or whatever. So it's cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And also in this age as well, where social media with the actual imaging and videos are so strong, you're in such a strong sport as well, which is very visually appealing and stimulating. I can just see that they've gone on the offensive World Champs Air Race in the last sort of 2 months now. Just some of the old photos, stock photos and video clips from what has been over the last few years, it just grabs people's attention because A, it's airplanes, B, it's racing, and the cinematography is wonderful. So why not? Yeah, invest in that. The branding and social media, it's going to pay good dividends.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you a couple of things about how you've seen, you spent time in the Challenger Cup, which was a lot similar, or a lot the same as the main racing league. Your aircraft weren't the same, but it was the same track and similar times, etc. What are your thoughts on going forward with this AeroGT now? How it's this Le Mans style, 3 pilots in a team kind of it's a different style of racing. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I think it's an interesting project, and it's going to be a new challenge. I haven't got all the rules yet, and I think they are being discussed. But yeah, for sure. Let's see what happens. But I know it will be. I'm confident also in the great idea, and I think the team principal will be really interesting people and will bring great knowledge to these pilots, which we didn't have in the past. And I think maybe it was what was missing, having some knowledge from a mentor. So, I think this is the good idea. And I think there is still an individual result, but I'm not sure. I don't get. I mean, I'm so busy with my preparing everything that I didn't honestly look after the other things.
No problem. I think actually not everything is finalized either, but just the concept that they're going to move to this 3 pilots in a team where they're going to aggregate the times.
The only
for me, I think it's wonderful to be able to triple the number of people that are available in that first, the Challenger series, the AeroGT now. 3 times the amount of people can now expose themselves to racing.
I think the only thing I hope, because I've done a endurance race in a car, I hope it's not the same thing when you change pilot, because I remember they just threw me in the car like, get in there and go racing. And I was like, oh, what's going on? Every time they were just throwing me in the car like very violent. So I just hope everybody will have time to fasten the seatbelts and everything. Because Le Mans is a really... I raced in Le Mans, in fact, so it was really cool. It was cool to do this experience,
Wow, that must have been wonderful. And was this something that you had always wanted to do? Was this an invitational? Are you into motorsport racing, car racing as well?
I love car racing. When I was young, I was in close to Monaco, and I always went to see the Formula One Grand Prix. I'm a real fan of MotoGP also. I love watching it. This is so cool. I would never do it. I mean, I did once on a racetrack with a bike, and I went over 300, and I was like, whoa, I don't want to do that anymore because I'm going to hurt myself. And obviously it's now even less at the moment. But I love car racing, and with my sponsor BMW, I'm lucky to race BMWs, or not race, drive them on the racetrack. And I was invited one day on an event. It's what they call the Fun Cup. It's all the same cars on the racetrack, and it's the new Beetles. And I think it's the same model for everybody, and it was so cool. And I did this. We were, I think, 6 hours race with 4 pilots. So it was a lot of driving. So it was 8 hours racing. So it was an amazing experience. And I have in the middle of 1,000 things I want to do, I'd like to do a race with M2, a BMW. Just one race at the end of the season with a friend of mine, the race pilot. So it would be just a nice experience, and he says I'm not so bad at it, so let's see.
That's good. I also raced karts for a short time, very, very low level, just sort of fun stuff on the weekend. But, with the background in aerobatics and, energy and 3D operating, you can really bring a lot of that experience to the racetrack, because now it's it's only 2D, and you only have to worry about sort of left, right, forward, and back. You don't have to worry about the up and down.
Sure.
But this idea of the circles, closing circles, and gaining and leading on a corner, I really found it like it was a nice experience for me. And although I didn't win championships, I felt I did above average, having had this sort of aviation background. Did you feel a similar thing on the racetrack?
Yeah, exactly. It's I mean, the moment I really felt it, we were 70 cars on the racetrack. It was the small racetrack of Le Mans, so it was amazing. I was in the middle. It was quite cool, in fact, because there was 3 groups, and we were in the middle group, I think. And then they do drawing of lots, and you decide your beginning position from the drawing of lots. And they made me do the start of the race. And it was the first time ever in my life I was on a racing experience. And I was in the middle of all these crazy guys and girls, and I was so scared again. And I started, and my first 1 or 2 laps was just don't destroy the car, just try and find the air in the middle of the cars. And I probably lost like 10 spots at the first 2. But I was really worried to destroy the car for the other guys waiting for the wheel. So maybe this is my precocious side I have. But it was nice, and I really liked the fact of being close to the other cars, and this is where I had this feeling of really that you could have in the air race, because when you see the pilots very fast close to you, you have to go in the middle, and when you overtake a car, though I didn't overtake many cars because it was mainly people overtaking me, and there I said, whoa. But a lot of humility. It was a new world for me, and the aim of this race was pleasure. Actually, there was a guy who was a singer with us, a famous singer, and he was really amazing. He was, and then I understood he did a lot of simulator training, and I think next time I'll go training on the simulator, because I didn't know about the curves, and I think I was 2 or 3 seconds behind the best ones were 2 minutes, and I was 2.0304. But then to get these last 3 or 4 seconds, it's like everything has to be really, really precise. And if you hesitate, then you lose 2 seconds. So it's the same in air race also.
Yeah, trying to build that perfect lap every corner.
Yeah.
Or you never get a perfect lap, do you?
Yeah.
So now, being a racing fan, Formula One and MotoGP, have you had the opportunity in your air race career so far that any of the people that you know and admire have come around and met you at the racetrack when you were performing?
Not as I remember. I've met quite a lot of people, sportsmen and women. I'm a good friend of Ari Vatanen, famous rally driver, and he is such a friend. And I did an event last year in February, and he came with his helicopter, and it was just really friendly. It was just to help me with my sponsors, and people were really happy to have him in the event. And for me, this guy is such a star and such a nice friend, and he's so simple, and I really love these kind of people. I'm also a friend with Loïc Perron. He's a navigator, and he won, I think, I don't remember the exact race, but anyway, he's quite a famous navigator, and he became really a good friend, and he's helped me so much in aviation and finding sponsors, and because he was amazed by the air race flying, and these guys are really impressed and support, and it's cool to have them in my family and in my friend's family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about racing, and if we go back to the beginning of the conversation, Melanie, we talked about your role in aviation and being a role model for women aviation around the world, first in racing and now in the AeroGP1. This is wonderful. So as a role model in aviation, you are in a racing league, and the demands on the body is the demands on the body. The cockpit moves around at 10 Gs, and that's what it is. Whether you're a man, a woman, or anything else, you are experiencing G, and you've proved yourself to be racing. How does that compare to, like we've spoken about, MotoGP, Rally, and Formula One? You must be proud that you're representing racing, certainly in aero racing. What are your thoughts on ladies racing in the other leagues, Formula One, etc.?
I think there is I think it's Jamie Chadwick. There is a woman who's doing pretty good in car racing, and I really hope she will make it to the Formula One. And I think she has the talent and the will to go higher. MotoGP, I think there aren't any women racing. There used to be one, but she quit. I think it's kind of different in aviation. I think it's much easier for women to fly in aviation than to race in a MotoGP or in a Formula One. There is less. Also, there is less people flying airplanes than driving cars or bikes, and probably there's less candidates. But anyway, it's a tough question. I've been asked it like 1,000 times if I know why there are fewer women than men. I think basically there's less candidates. Then the main question would be, why are there less candidates? And I would say, let's look at Fortune 500 companies, or in France we have CAC 40. There is, I think, one woman out of 40 of the biggest companies in France who is at the head of the company. So maybe the answer is there. It's just that the request we ask to a woman as just a woman is higher than to a man as managing a family, probably. Sure. I was speaking this morning about the point, and I'm happy to speak about the point also with a woman who's 67 years old, and she was working for the show this morning. And I just started talking about it, and she said she's never had kids, and because she was traveling around the world. So it's just at one point in your life you have to make the decision, and sure. I think basically I've made it, except if I can have kids in 3 to 5 years. But at one point it's a tough decision. But sure. As I'd say, there's always a price to pay. If you want to become a boxing champion, you have to get hit. If you want to have a career as a woman, I mean, when I say a career, if you want to go around the world and compete or be a successful businesswoman or manage a very big company, you just can't live for a year or 2 or 3. I'm saying that, but some women have done it. It's just a matter of doing it, but it's tough. It's tough, and I've been fighting so long to get to the top and reach this level that I don't want to. I want to go to the end of it and really enjoy it now. So, but it has to be a decision, and a clear decision. And I've had guys when I was racing, I'm gonna have a kid in the next week, and I was like, hey, you imagine if it was my case, I couldn't be there with you speaking. Yeah. So that's it. It's like that. This is the main difference, I think. If I can give my philosophy, is that no one else will create my kid for me. So basically, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I need to adopt a kid, maybe.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a big life philosophy, and I mean, it's probably a bigger conversation. So let's leave it on a note where we wrap it up on the race weekend. So after that's all said and done, the race is over. You've done particularly well. What is your go-to meal at the end of race weekend, where you want to just let your hair down and spend time with the team and your family and friends around you?
Yeah, I love having a nice pizza. When I don't eat them very often, but when it's a very nice one and I've done great, I enjoy a nice Italian pizza, and this is mainly one thing I love. Of course, I love pasta also. I love the Italian food in general. Is quite something I like. I like a hamburger also. All these very healthy things, that you don't eat every day. But I'm saying that, but I love much more healthy food. In fact, this is much more my stuff. I like simple food, no sauce, just a piece of fish with green beans is something I enjoy also. And the more you eat of them, and the more you enjoy them also.
That's true. Yeah. Well, my kids will back me up. I keep saying my number one food is pizza, followed by hamburger. So maybe one day we can have a celebratory pizza when you are winning your championship. Thank you so much for your time.
And champagne.
And the champagne. Won't forget the champagne. Yeah. Last question for you.
Champagne pizza is perfect.
Last question for you, Melanie. If you think about aircraft that you've flown over your many years of flying, and you think back to some of the ones that maybe don't look so good. We all see those aircraft. We know which ones look good and everyone wants to fly. Which are the aircraft would you say is a bit underrated? You look at it and think, well, that's not so nice. But when you flew it, the feeling was good and you thought, no, this is a nice aircraft. Can you think of one?
Yeah, I think I could maybe say the Cessna 152.
Okay. Say more about
It
that.
looks old and
Yep.
not very funny, but in
Mhm.
fact it's one of the most fun planes I've ever flown. I like when it goes. No, it's just so fun and so small and slow and everything, but it's just nice to enjoy. Yeah, flying slowly and just you can look down and take pictures and I remember one of the most fun moments flying was when I flew the Cessna with a very strong guy,
Yeah.
and we did a steep turn, and then the door opened,
Wow.
and I was like, "Oh, this is scary." And he just put his hand over my body, and he just closed the
Close
door,
it.
and I was like, "Okay, I think it's already happened to him before." It was a flight instructor,
Yeah.
and it was just like it happened 50 times in his career probably, and it was just so natural. He just closed the door on my side, okay.
That's it.
And when you wanted to get in the plane, you had to squeeze in,
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it
Solid,
looks tiny
stable,
and
and
small, but it's
dependable.
nice.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
old 152. Wonderful. Well, thank you
yeah,
so much for your time, Melanie. I really appreciate. Sorry
pleasure.
once again for the hiccup in the beginning. Look forward to you on the season next year, 2022, as it all kicks off, the AeroGP1, and all the best with building your team and the racing ahead.
Thank you very much, and yeah, looking forward to meet you very soon, and yeah, enjoy some racing.
That'll be great. Thank you.